Have you ever wondered why life suddenly becomes difficult just when you thought things were finally falling into place? The truth is, hardship is not always a punishment. In fact, it's often a hidden sign that Allah is preparing you for something greater. Behind every delay, loss, or disappointment, there are divine secrets at work, secrets that most people overlook. In this video, we'll uncover 5 powerful truths hidden within your struggles that prove Allah has something better planned for you. These are not just comforting words. They are deeply rooted in Islamic wisdom and the experiences of those who've come out stronger after being tested. Whether you're facing emotional pain, financial stress, or personal loss, don't give up. These moments could be signs of spiritual promotion, redirection, or a divine upgrade waiting to unfold. Stay with us, because what you're going through may be far more meaningful than you think. 1. Detachment from Dunya. One of the most profound secrets hidden in hardship is Allah's way of detaching your heart from the temporary comforts of this world. The Dunya. When we become too attached to material things, people, status, or even certain life goals, our hearts may unconsciously drift away from the remembrance of Allah. Hardship in such moments serves as a wake-up call, gently or forcefully turning our attention back to what truly matters, our relationship with our Creator. Through loss, disappointment, or failure, Allah removes the very things that occupy space in our hearts so that we may refill that space with sincerity, humility, and submission to Him. It is not a punishment, but a redirection of love. Allah wants to be your priority, your source of peace, and your ultimate goal. Sometimes, the only way to break the illusion of control and dependence on creation is through trials that remind you of your dependence on the Creator. Hardships create a spiritual void that nothing in the dunya can fill. And that's exactly where faith can grow. When the heart is free from unnecessary attachments, it becomes more capable of experiencing true peace, clarity, and spiritual elevation. This detachment allows believers to view life with a deeper perspective, understanding that nothing here is permanent, and everything that is lost is only a reminder that something eternal awaits. So when you're tested, ask yourself, is this Allah removing something that distracted me from Him? Often, that very pain is a sign of a divine realignment, helping you walk a path of purpose, not just pleasure. Allah's love sometimes arrives not in ease, but in the lessons that come through difficulty, refining your soul and drawing it closer to Him. 2. Spiritual growth through trials. Hardships are not just moments of pain. They are opportunities for deep spiritual transformation. When life becomes difficult, your soul is pushed to reflect, to seek meaning, and to reconnect with Allah in ways it may not during ease. Trials have a unique ability to expose the weaknesses within us, our impatience, pride, or reliance on worldly things. And through this exposure, they offer a chance to grow beyond them. In difficult times, your du'as become more sincere, your salah becomes more focused, and your heart becomes softer. This emotional vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but a doorway to spiritual strength. The Prophet Muhammad faced immense hardships, but through them, his trust in Allah only deepened. Similarly, every test we face is a personal invitation to rise spiritually, to turn our grief into gratitude and our setbacks into stepping stones toward Allah. These moments of struggle break the illusion of control, reminding you that your strength lies not in your ability, but in your submission. You begin to realize that true peace is not found in changing your circumstances, but in changing your perspective, seeing the trial as a mercy, not a punishment. The more you endure with patience and trust, the more your soul expands. You develop resilience, humility, and a heart that beats with reliance on Allah. Each hardship chips away at the ego and polishes the soul, much like fire purifies gold. So, when hardship strikes, don't just pray for it to end, pray for what Allah wants you to learn from it. Because through every test, He is nurturing your heart, elevating your rank, and preparing you for something greater, both in this life and the next. 3. Divine redirection. Sometimes what feels like rejection or failure is actually divine redirection. Allah steering you away from something lesser towards something greater. When a door closes or a plan falls apart, it's natural to feel confused or even heartbroken. But in the unseen, Allah may be protecting you from harm, disappointment, or spiritual decline. What you desperately wanted might not align with your purpose or your long-term well-being, and only Allah knows what lies ahead. Divine redirection is one of the most beautiful and merciful aspects of Allah's plan. He removes what's not written for you to give you what is better, even if it doesn't look like it in the moment. What you see as a delay may be a setup for something extraordinary. What you perceive as loss could be the beginning of your true success. Often, it's only in hindsight that you realize how perfect Allah's wisdom truly is. When your plans fall apart, it invites reflection. What path were you walking? Were you chasing something that would distract you from your mission or faith? Allah redirects you not to punish you, but to realign your journey, to keep your steps on a path that leads to true fulfillment, both spiritually and personally. This redirection is often accompanied by discomfort, but that discomfort leads to clarity. It opens new doors, reveals hidden talents, or places you in situations where your faith deepens and your character is shaped. So, if something you loved slipped from your hands, trust that it was never yours to keep. And if something didn't work out, trust that it was a detour meant to guide you to something better. Because with every no from the world, Allah may be preparing a bigger yes from Him. 4. Patience is rewarded. In the face of hardship, patience, sabr, is not just a virtue, it is a powerful act of worship. Allah mentions patience over 90 times in the Quran, highlighting its immense status. When you're going through pain, uncertainty, or loss, your decision to remain patient is deeply beloved to Allah. It shows trust, submission, and strength, qualities that elevate your spiritual rank in ways you can't imagine. Patience isn't about being passive or emotionless. It's about choosing not to act out of anger, despair, or haste. It means controlling your tongue, guarding your thoughts, and holding firmly to hope in Allah's mercy. Even when the situation doesn't change, the believer's attitude during the trial is what earns them the greatest reward. Allah says in the Quran, "Indeed, the patient will be given their reward without measure." Surah Az-Zumar 39:10. No other act has such a promise attached to it. Hardships often stretch over days, months, or even years. But each day you remain steadfast. Your soul is being recorded and honored in the unseen. Angels are writing down your patience, your tears, and your silent reliance on Allah. This isn't unnoticed. It's deeply cherished by the one who sees everything. Moreover, patience builds inner peace. Instead of resisting what Allah has allowed, you begin to flow with it, trusting that there's wisdom behind every delay or difficulty. Your heart learns to be content, even in the storm. So when you're tested, remind yourself, every moment you hold back frustration or keep your faith intact, you're gaining reward that will shine on the day of judgment. And the beauty is, Allah never forgets what you've endured for His sake. Patience never goes to waste in His sight. 5. Allah's upgrade. One of the hidden gems within hardship is the divine upgrade Allah is preparing for you. Sometimes, what you prayed for is not denied. It's simply being replaced with something far better. Allah, in His infinite knowledge and mercy, knows what you need even before you ask. He hears every dua, sees every effort, and understands what's best for your future, even if it doesn't align with your present desires. When something you hoped for doesn't come to pass, it may feel like a loss, but in reality, it's often Allah removing something limited to make space for something greater. Whether it's a career, a relationship, or a personal dream, if it doesn't bring you closer to your purpose or akhirah, Allah might withhold it to grant you a higher alternative. This upgrade can come in many forms: deeper peace, stronger faith, better opportunities, or even unseen protection. The concept of tawakkul, trusting Allah's plan, becomes essential here. True faith is tested when you don't get what you want, but still believe Allah is preparing something more beneficial. This upgrade might not be immediate. It may take time, reflection, and growth. But when it arrives, you'll realize why the earlier prayer went unanswered, not out of rejection, but out of divine perfection. Often, you don't know what you are being saved from until much later, and sometimes you don't even realize what you've gained until it becomes your new reality. That's how Allah works, subtly, powerfully, and always for your good. So if you're facing hardship today, know that it might be the path to something far beyond your expectations. Allah never takes without giving back better, often in ways that exceed both your plans and your imagination. Hardships are not random. They are divine tools of transformation. What feels like a setback may actually be setting you up for something far greater. Allah never tests without purpose, and every trial carries hidden blessings, growth, and guidance. So next time life gets tough, remember, it's not the end. It might just be the beginning of something better. If this video gave you hope and clarity, please like, share, and subscribe to Ascend Deen for more powerful Islamic reminders. Your support helps us spread these messages to hearts that need them most.